you know, American politicians, man, and the American public in general can't work on two things at once. They just can't do it. Some crazy person gets a gun and shoots a whole bunch of people. Man, that's horrific. But that's all we want to think about now. We only want to talk about guns now, right? Forget the war in Israel. Forget the war in Ukraine. Forget China trying to make moves on Taiwan. Forget what's going on with commercial real estate. Forget what's going on with Wall Street, right? Forget what's going on with healthcare. Forget what's going on with mental health care. Forget what's going on with all the indictments. We got not just the former president, but we got all kind of politicians and judges. They're being, looked at, scrutinized, including the sitting president and his son, right? Forget about all that. We got to focus on this. That's not how you get stuff done, bro. You got to do more than one thing at a time. It's more than one thing at a time. Yes, we could do something about the gun laws, but we also need to make sure that people who need the help are getting the help. And there's a lot of people who need the help. There's a lot of people out there, man, who are just losing it. Just losing it. We know that we have a serious problem with lonely, sexless men in America. We have a serious problem, and we know this. Maybe not everybody is up on it, but there are people out there with, very successful people, very, very smart people, academics who are like, yo, man, this is a problem. Mainstream media knows about it. Dr. Scott Galloway has been talking about this for a minute. He's been talking about this. Right. So I want to check out this video. This is from Diary of a CEO. Shout out to them. Big time YouTuber. He had Dr. Scott Galloway there. And I want you guys to listen to what Dr. Scott Galloway has to say about lonely men and what's going on with that. Check this out.
Programs and have such a lack of socialization now. The number of high school teenagers that sees their friends every day has been cut in half, that we're slowly but surely sequestering from each other. And when we do that, we become less mammalia. We're mammals. We're literally, if you have dogs are happiest when they're lying on top of you. The worst thing you can do to a dog is leave it alone all day. And what we're doing to young people is they are leaving others and themselves alone all day. We're separating from each other. We're becoming less social. And there's a group of men who aren't received well at school, don't find a source of pride. Auto shop, metal shop, wood shop's gone away. They go online to date. The majority of them get rejected. If your average attractiveness in online dating, you have to swipe right 200 times to get a single coffee. If you set up 5 coffees, you'll get 1 will actually show up. 4 of the 5 will ghost you and decide later on they don't actually want to meet up. So a young man of average attractiveness in online dating has to swipe right 1,000 times. So did
y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? 1,000 times? Just so you can meet a few women who are going to ghost you anyway. You might sit down with 1,000 times. Now, of course, in the red pill world, in the manosphere world, over in the mano swamp, guys preach this. They understand how hard it is, and they understand that things are getting worse. But this is just the tip of the iceberg, bro. When you look at these things, it's like, well, what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to talk about it. We're supposed to take this data and go out here and figure something out. It could be something as simple as just setting up some mentor programs to let these young guys know that, hey, man, this is how it's supposed to go. Stay off of the online dating sites. Do this, do that. Like, again, it might be a matter of just, hey, man, why don't you go over here and talk to Uncle Saint? Yeah, bro, let me, take a shower, man. Put some deodorant on, brush your teeth, bro, comb your hair. You know what I mean? Put on a little bit of, put the smell good on. Put that on. Let's go over here to Burlington Coat Factory, man. Find you a nice little outfit for cheap. Get your outfit on. Now, come on now. Let me show you out here and let me show you how to go out here and talk to women. And it's still going to be difficult, bro, but at least you get to interact with a real human and have a little fun in the process. And by that, I mean, it's fun to just sit around and talk and joke and laugh, and to be in the presence of a woman, bro. To be in the presence of women is fun. It's fun. It's not all about smashing, right? Let's continue.
He gets validation for one coffee. He gets validation that he has no worth to the other sex. He loses confidence. He starts engaging with people because he has less opportunities for random encounters where he has to develop those skills. And slowly but surely, he sequesters from society. And at some point, he just is not really savable. He just never develops those skills around friendship or romantic relationships. In the United States, 1 in 7 men doesn't have a single friend. 1 in 4 can't name a best friend. In addition, marriage has become now a luxury item. If you're in the upper quartile of income earning households, there's a 3 in 4 chance you're going to get married. If you're in the lower quartile, the lowest quartile, there's only there's a 3 in 4 chance you will never get married.
These are stats. He didn't make up these numbers, man. Very smart people have gone out there and done the research. It's not like we're in a vacuum. It's not like, oh my God, where did this Robert Card come from? He came from the legions of lonely, sexless men. And because he's lonely and he's by himself and he doesn't have anyone to talk to, he doesn't have anyone to call up, he doesn't have anyone to watch the game with, people think he's weird. So weird, in fact, that they tell their bosses and higher ups that something's wrong with this guy. And then those guys, the officers, call the police. Man, can y'all come and get this guy? We think he's going to hurt himself, and put him away somewhere where he's still lonely. It's like feeling even worse. They got me in a rubber room, right? They got me this funny vest with my hands behind my back. What's going on? They won't, you know what I'm saying? I got to eat Jell-O with my fingers because they don't trust me with utensils. I can't even wear a belt. You don't even feel like you're human anymore. They ain't going to put you through that for 2 weeks. Okay, your 2 weeks is up with the military. Bye, boot, give you the boot. Here you go. Back into the real world. And now you know you weird. And ain't just, maybe I'm weird. Now it's like, nope, I got paperwork. I'm certifiable. And then people looking like you like, ew, stay away. Ew, weirdo. You know, someone ghosts you online. And I said, I've had enough. Snap, you grab your thing and you go do some very bad stuff, right? Pop, 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 pop. That's where that comes from. That's where that comes from. And we're doing absolutely nothing about it. There are lonely women out there too. Don't get it twisted. But generally speaking, lonely women don't go grab their weapon and go pop, 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 pop. When dudes lose it, they snap. These guys who are just completely isolated. This guy has an SUV, a motorcycle, and a boat. Think about that. He's living. Probably got his own place. Got all his stuff in there. But he can't get friends. Doesn't have any friends. Right? Can't get on with women because he just doesn't know how to do it. He's trying the online dating stuff. Before that, he tried the meetups. Before that, he tried the speed dating. Before that, he tried the lock and key. I guarantee you he tried all that stuff. Most people do. They try everything. You go to the bars, you go to the bowling alley and hang out and meet people, right? You go to the restaurant place that he popped up. He didn't have any success. No one saw him. Women don't see him. He's in the bottom 80. He's a basement dweller. But he's a basement dweller with a high-powered rifle and a whole bunch of bullets. Eventually, it was just too much, right? Snapped. Pop go to weasel. And that's what happened. That's what happened. Last Good Man in Jersey is saying that Wheat Waffle didn't experiment on this. I think he had to swipe over 2,000 times to land one date, and he used enhanced pics. Like, bro, online dating, dating apps. Like I said, the last time I tried it was in 2020, and I just did it because I got out here, and I met, I don't know, half a dozen or so women, but each woman that I met was weird when I finally met her in person. I ain't gonna lie to you, and each woman I met was on multiple platforms. I would see them on, they're on Tinder, and then they're on Match, and then they're on whatever the other ones was. I forget. It might have been. It wasn't Plenty of Fish. Maybe it was Bumble. I don't remember, but it was the same women in the same age brackets that were on all these different ones. And I'm not counting the ones who were just trying to, funnel you to their OF accounts. I ain't even counting them. The finessers, I ain't even counting them. I'm talking about the women who are actually trying to meet people. And then you meet them in person. It's like, bro, sure enough, this woman is weird. But guess what? She's not starved for attention, is she? She's just as weird as this Robert Card guy, just as weird. But she's not starved for attention. She's not starved for companionship. She could pick up her phone, text, and call and have somebody show up ASAP. Right? She's not walking around talking to herself. And if she is, there's going to be a dude sitting there, whatever. She can talk to herself. It's all good. I'm sitting here watching the game. Because every woman I met was still somewhat attractive, bro. They were all 6'7", lonely, easy kills. And I didn't mess with, I didn't smash none of them, bro. I'm like, they're just not there. I'm not messing with it because I'm not starved for that. But I mean, I don't think I sent out 2,000 swipes or anything like that, but I know it was a lot of swipes. I know it was a lot of swipes. And then I had women, it was women hitting me up like, oh, you matched with this chick. And I look at some pictures, and, it's like those funky angle pictures. I'm like, nah, it's a fact, girl. I ain't even hit her back. So if you don't have that abundance mindset, it's going to be hard. It's going to be so hard. Think about that. This dude couldn't even get on with a chubby chick, bro. He couldn't get himself he couldn't get a below average woman to come his way. Utter and complete isolation while simultaneously surrounded by people. That has to drive you crazy, bro. That has to drive you crazy. You are utterly alone, but you are surrounded by people. Bro, how does that feel? And I rarely talk about feelings, but you got to in this case. How does that feel? Pop go to Weasel, that's how it feels. We may never know why he did what he did. Law enforcement's afraid of this man. As soon as they see him, they're going to light him up. And you think about that. There was a guy in California who was a LAPD police officer. He snapped, and he deleted a bunch of cops, and the cops chased him down all the way to Big Bear, and he got into a cabin. Once he was in the cabin, they burned the cabin down, bro. They didn't try to get him out. And I forget how many law enforcement officials he took out, but he took out quite a few. And then there was a guy in Texas. And let me go back to the police guy. The police guy, he wrote a manifesto. The guy was in the Navy. Even with his Navy training, he wasn't a SEAL. I think he might have been an engineer or maybe a CB or something like that. But it wasn't like he was a SEAL. You know what I mean? Like I said, engineer or maybe a CB, something like that. It was LAPD. He was like Naval Reserves or something like that. And he was an officer if I'm not mistaken. If memory serves, he was an officer in the Navy. Snapped. They were so afraid of him, man. They burned up the building he was in, that he was holed up in. And then in Texas, there was an incident some years back. Some man with a long rifle engaged and deleted a couple police officers. Huge manhunt. They tracked him down, and he was holed up in a parking garage. I guess he had managed to barricade himself somehow in a parking garage. What did law enforcement do? They got one of those robotic drones that they use for defusing, bombs and stuff like that, bomb squad. They put an explosive device on it, drove it up there to the dude, and blew up the dude. That's how law enforcement handled it, because they were so afraid of this guy. This guy was like a Army reservist, if memory served. He was like a reservist or a National Guard guy. This happened in Texas. Law enforcement, when they tracked this guy down, this Robert Card, I don't see him making it. I just don't. Law enforcement, they are definitely afraid of this man, as they should be. And Brother Jack, what's good night? I see you. How was game so hard for these guys? I got so many callbacks when I was spitting my game. Yeah, man, because you one of those, one of those little cute, pretty Ricky type dudes, right? And you don't have a problem talking to women. You can relate. It's a skill set. You have the skill set. You just don't realize you have the skill set. You have the ability to walk up to just any of your body and start talking. You know what I mean? You don't have a weird twitch. You're not talking to yourself, man. You're not dressed funny. You're not looking at folks. You're not super thirsty, bro. All that comes into play. It all comes into play, man. All of it. It boils down to you're not a weirdo. So how is it so hard for them? Because they're weirdos, man. I say that with respect. It is what it is. They're weirdos. Can it change? Yeah. Yeah. For a lot of them, it could. Again, it just takes a little bit of mentor. Think about us. Think about the nights, bro. We get together and we keep each other in check, right? We sit around, we talk, we can see what's going on. We talk about things, we compare notes or whatever. If dude was a part of the New Templars, he would at least have that. And he could say, okay, I need to change a little bit. Hey, Saint, where'd you get that vest? I like that vest. I want to get a vest like that. You know what I mean? You could be like, hey, Wes, you know what I mean? How did you get your car? I'm trying to get a better car. How'd you get that system? And then we can help him. Like, all right, man, I'll show you how to get the vest. I'll take you out to get the vest. Wes will be like, yeah, man, I'll show you how to get this radio system and even help you install it. Right. So it is, like, hey, Aunt, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you do this? And how do you do that? And it's just people like, yo, we all talk to one another and we help each other, right? We're building a community, we're building a tribe. This is why it's so important. But these lonely guys don't have male companionship. Let's just forget about females for a moment. They don't have male friends. Think about that. We're talking about completely, utterly alone, yet they're surrounded by people. They don't have anybody, bro. I'm on the phone every single day talking to my people. Yo, what's up, Jay Swans? Man, he'll be on the phone all day, every day, talking, having a good time. He's just out there working. We talking while he's going between calls or whatever. Just talking crazy, man. Or sometimes we have serious talks. Sometimes we do this. Sometimes we do that. I got my cousin I could call. I got my brother I could call. I got people out in Cali I could call. I got Rook. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Rook, what's good? We could call. I'm not starved for companionship, be it male or female. In fact, there are times, don't tell anybody, keep it right here, just between us. You know what I mean? Just me, you, and the rest of the internet world. There are times when I just stay in the house and turn off the phone because I don't want to be bothered. I have to take a break from people. Imagine that. I got to take a break from people. I want to be by myself. I'll go somewhere. I'll take a staycation, man. I'll go somewhere, check in some room somewhere, man. I'm just chilling. I want a staycation somewhere, take a break. This guy has zero human contact. Maybe he had an animal. Maybe he had a dog or a ferret or something. I don't know. But it's crazy, Brother Penny. Social media has created the middle class squeeze of the dating market. It's hard to be average. To really do well, you have to be extraordinary. And that's a fact, bro. That is a fact. You get Don DeMarco for that, bro. You know what I mean? That is a fact. And then people get frustrated. You got the black pillars and the MGTOW guys, and they get frustrated, and they're like, the black pillars, all women, ain't none, it's all doom and gloom. Some of the red pill rage guy, the guys, the MGTOW guys, they go off somewhere by themselves. And they, it's just one of those things. It's just people have different ways of dealing with it. But that's an absolute fact. Technology has made it such that, man, you got to be an extraordinary type dude. You either have to portray it somehow or you have to convey it somehow in the way you interact. You got to do something. Build up your body, be funny, have a lot of money, be able to provide experiences, have clout, have connections. You got to do something. It's not enough just to be a good guy. I'm just a good guy who likes to go to work every day and take care of my family. Man, ain't nobody trying to have that. Boring. How many times have y'all heard that? Girls be talking about boring, especially these young girls. It's crazy. It's not their fault. I'm not blaming them. They can want what they want. And as a guy, if you're on the hunt, you're going to have to modify yourself so they find you attractive. But it's a lot of work, bro. It's a lot of work. Again, I blame the whole everybody gets a trophy thing. Mama said I'm gonna be successful. Mama said I'm gonna get a baddie. Everybody gets a trophy. No, they don't, my friend. No, they don't. You want to get you a baddie, you're gonna have to work your way into the top 20%. Brother Dino was saying January 2023, Biden Harris $245 million to support the youth mental health and help the healthcare workforce meets families' mental health needs. Here in America, man, they do that stuff for the headlines, bro. Those programs don't really help. I mean, if you can get anything, it's great. We're gonna earmark $245 million, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna set up these nonprofits, and we're gonna set up these organizations. A lot of times, that money winds up in the pockets of the 1%. They'll have people on the boards of these healthcare agencies or whatever getting paid $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year to sit there on the board and shuffle around the rest of the government money. It's just the way the stuff is set up, bro. Their heart's in the right place. Right, the politician get the headline,